Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, well, you're all just joining us because we've had an absolute howler to start the evening here at Silverstone. We are live for the British Grand Prix, where the title can be decided today, actually. If you're wondering why we've no fancy graphics or anything on the screen, your guess is as good as mine. But we're here, we're going to have the end of qualifying, and we will have the race to bring you here at the British Grand Prix, where the title can be decided today. Please let me know if the audio and everything is okay. This is the first time in about 2 years I've streamed on PS. Oh, the chat's on the screen. Hold on. Let's see, can we turn that off? Otherwise that might get a little bit infuriating come the end of the evening. There we go, that should be okay. Please let me know if everything is okay, because of course I have not streamed on a PlayStation, direct from the PlayStation, in about 2 years, but the laptop didn't fancy it this evening, so we're here on the backup option. But we have a race, and that's the most important thing. Just myself this evening. Timon has no-showed, which is disappointing, but we've got a really close qualifying. We have Danielle on pole position with your championship leader, Matteo, in second. If Matteo outscores Newth here this evening, he is your World Drivers' Champion for season 35. It's only 2 rounds to go. We've got one here today at Silverstone, and then, of course, one next week at the Sakir International Circuit, where hopefully everything is back to a little bit of normality then, but we'll wait and see, and we'll see how it goes. Big thanks to all of you who were patient enough and now are joining us here. A big thanks in that regard. It's probably the best looking stream I've had in weeks, because my laptop just doesn't like good quality. But nonetheless, let's get back into the swing of things then, shall we? Let's get into qualifying for, or I should say the end of qualifying for the British Grand Prix. We've only got about 2 minutes left in the session. Jacob Conius is currently on a lap, heading through Woodcut, or coming up towards Woodcut, I should say. Please let me know if the game audio is okay as well, because again, this is the first time I've commentated in about 2 years with game audio in my ears. The joys of OBS. Ian Van Unen is starting his final qualifying lap of the session. So is Flotman just behind him. They're both heading in towards Abbey and then in towards Farm, and the right-hander of turn number 3. Then it's the arena section of turn number 4 and 5, and up towards the left-hander, heading down towards Brooklands, which is the left-hander at turn number 6. Let's see what Van Unen can do through there. No, not an improvement in the first sector. How about Flotman? Is he finding time? Marginally. But I say marginally, that's good enough for pole position for the time being. I've watched none of this session, so I can only apologise if the facts are a little bit off, but we will wait and see. What's Danielle treating us to in the first sector? Of course, won the Las Vegas Grand Prix this season, would love another win, and no, down on the time. As always, that's not a big sector for Matteo. Apologies, that was his improvement on the last lap. We will wait and see as he heads down the Wellington Straight what he can do. Looking to become champion today is Matteo. And what a result it would be. He narrowly missed out last season, was P4 in the F3 Championship. He would love to become the number 1 here in PSGL F2. Session has been completed. Conius and Skyline already completing their laps. Flotman heading in towards Stowe Corner. Oh, a little bit slidey through there, but was tracking quite well on the Delta times in the first and final sectors. Let's see what he can do. Van Unen jumps to second, improved marginally. What about Flotman across the line? He goes quickest. 1:24.656. Danielle not finding time in that middle sector. Matteo is finding time in that middle sector. How about the other Alpine of Newt? He's just kind of beginning his lap, heading onto the old start-finish straight. Danielle into the pit lane, obviously saw no improvement through there. What about Matteo heading down towards the final chicane? Crucial moment in qualifying this one for Matteo. This could make or break whether his championship is wrapped up this evening. Rounding through the final corner and across the line, Matteo onto the front row of the grid. Marginally misses out on pole position. If there was ever a time for the German to have a good qualifying, it's probably now. Needs at least 3 tenths. No, not improving by any. What about Dara Smith down the back of the order as well? We need to keep an eye on him, as Dirk. Dirk, bit of a quali maestro from time to time, so let's see what he can do across the start-finish line. The quali maestroism is not really today. But about Dara Smith rounding through the final corner. Top 20, all within 4 tenths of a second, by the way. Dara Smith jumps to 10th. Newt enters qualifying in the pit lane. Is that waving the white flag, potentially? Flotman is on pole position for the British Grand Prix, but Matteo is the man in second position. Is Jarno driving? Asks someone. Yes, it was a poor qualifying from Jarno Otmar. Here he is in the Williams in 20th. But, that's a very close qualifying. You got to see none of it, unfortunately. But, that's how the cookie crumbles. And Diogo Silva is going to be a little bit raging. 0.4 a second off pole. And he starts last. And he's 0.4 of a second off. We'll run you through the full race results. And of course, because we're streaming from PS, we've no ad breaks, so you're going to have to listen to me waffle on. Flotman is on pole position, followed by Matteo in second. Then it was Danielle, Ian Van Oenen, Zorzo, Tales, Will Murdoch, Fede, Jacob Conius and Dara Smith. Then it was Enzo Newth, Covers, Zane, Johan, Skyline, Phil, Dirk, Max van der Geest and Diogo Silva in 20th position. Exciting qualifying. Nonetheless, let me know your thoughts in the stream chat. Of course, we don't have a commercial break, but I will run you through the sponsors in a minute. Actually, I suppose we can run you through the sponsors now. There's no time in waiting. The big announcement of the evening, other than my laptop, being an absolute disaster, was SimRC, an official sponsor of Premier Sim Gaming Leagues. Make sure to check them out. Of course, if you want to become better at F123, reading the names in the chat, a lot of you need to become better, such as James Head. And you can get yourself a setup there, of course. And then the other sponsor, GT and Mega. I'm sitting in their comfy desk chair now, if that means anything to you, so make sure to check them out. A couple of Silverstone fun facts for you while we wait on the race to get underway. The Silverstone circuit, of course, is on the side of RAF Silverstone, the former World War II Air Force bomber station. An estimated hold that thought, we're onto the grid. We've 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we go racing here in Silverstone. We have a restart. Oh, that's not good news. Because I'm streaming on PlayStation. Oh, that's not good news at all. Well, it is a restart. So, my goodness me. That's a car in the air. It's one of those days, isn't it? It's one of those days. Still could be worse. It could be raining, as Stewie Griffin always said. So yeah, we have a restart. We'll have a lobby restart, and you know what, Dirk? That was really effective. Dirk has the lobby set up almost immediately. I didn't check the Discord. That's my own fault. That's why everyone read it up so quickly. Makes sense now. Oh, this isn't going to work now, is it? And if I have to restart my game, that means it's a third stream this evening. And none of us want that, realistically. Oh, please work. Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. I hope this music isn't copyrighted. I'm sorry if it is, Connor. There's no streamer mode on this game. Hot lap while we restart. I would do a hot lap. However, I don't have Timon with me to tell me when the lobby's going, because he didn't show up. This reminds me of the F5 days, you know. This does remind me of the F5 days. But we're running through the championship standings. I can't get them on screen, unfortunately, but I can run you through them nonetheless. It is Matteo who is on top, of course, by 26 points. If he leaves Silverstone with 17 or more, he is the Drivers' World Champion. And it's looking that way with how he qualified in comparison to Newt. Zorzo then in third, Diogo Silva in fourth, Flotman in fifth with Danielle in sixth. Then it is Covers, Ian Van Oenen and Dirk Johan is your top 10. In terms of the Constructors' World Championship, it is Matteo, or not Matteo on top. It is Aston Martin on top. It actually is Matteo on top. Matteo would be on top. He's more points than Mercedes. And it's Mercedes in second, Alpine in third. All of Alpine's points are Newt's points. Ghost Kings has not got a single point this season. That's disappointing for him. Red Bull is in fourth, followed by Williams in fifth, and Haas, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, McLaren. And Scuderia Ferrari in last place. Disappointing for them. Hopefully we can get underway soon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know your thoughts in the stream chat. Francie, stop asking is people driving. You know who's driving. Their names are on the screen. Let's go through. Should we go back to the Silverstone fun facts? I think we shall. One of the largest crashes in motorsport actually happened here in probably not good news, not the Joe Grant new one, of course. It was in 1973 when Jody Scheckter spun across the apron across the track and a woodcut. 11 cars were involved, but the good news, no one actually picked up an injury that day, so good news nonetheless. In 2008, of course, Lewis Hamilton won by 68 seconds to take his first of 7 wins at Silverstone. The first use of a turbo engine was also here at Silverstone. At the British Grand Prix in 1977 was driven by Jean-Pierre Jabouille, a French national, or at least I hope so. But in terms of qualifying for today's race, of course, we had qualifying a few moments ago. I also dressed up today for this one. I'm wearing an Irish retro football shirt because I thought, British Grand Prix, the rivalry. Phil is having a worse time than I am. His wheel settings have deleted. His wheel settings have deleted in between qualifying and the race. Oh, no, he's all okay. It's detected now. Are some drivers driving tonight? Asks VA Max. Yes. Oh no, he said, are some esports drivers driving tonight? No. Don't forget Hamilton and Verstappen a few years back. Is it possible to forget that? That is the question. To be or not to be, that is the question. In terms of the actual track here at Silverstone, it's a 5.891 kilometre circuit, 3.661 miles, 18 turns. Lap record set by Max Verstappen in 2021, of course. Francie, calm it. Hello, Avatar, one of our regular viewers. Welcome along, but more of a scuff stream. Start the race, Kieran. Kieran is very cross. Sorry, Kieran. In case you weren't aware, I don't control the race. How do I ban James Head? I'd like people to watch this stream for once, considering we get no promo. Oh, I can't. Oh, I had my admin privileges removed again. Oh, cheers, lads. So I'm very sorry, Kieran, for you being impatient. Really. Yeah, very, very sorry. Don't tune in to... no, do tune in. PSGL F1, 8 p.m. Of course. Stream chat's good tonight. I like this is helping me. Usually we don't have this sort of... what's the word I'm looking for? Informal conversation. Is Ferrari esports driving here? Asks Christian Block. I think so. Yeah, Jarno is on a break week. Oh, you're all at it now. Jarno Otmir is on a break week. Do you want to know, I was setting up my stream, a very unsuccessful stream last night, and I was thinking, people don't ask, is Jarno racing anymore? Well, how have I been proved wrong? Excited to see some esport in 30 minutes. Esport, lads. Rasmussen will join the PS race win. Yeah, Freddie Rasmussen is just OP Johan. Did you experience storm issue? Yes, I did. The wind was very bad this morning, and more so last night. And we actually seemingly have another storm coming tomorrow. Storm Jacqueline or Storm Jacinta or something like that. Hopefully, though, the storm like today goes quickly, and hopefully this race can start quickly. I'm not too sure what we are waiting on. Good evening to Cameron's dad. Bit of a weird one tonight. My laptop broke, so we are... Well, my laptop didn't break, because I'm reading your comments on my laptop. It just decided I didn't want to stream anymore, and it's my own fault. Last week's stream, I think you'll agree if you were watching, was awful quality. It was fuzzy, it was terrible, so I tried fixing that. And it it decided not to work. Respect for Byron's laptop. No, Byron gave me a sarcastic remark when I asked about my CPU. Let's not respect Byron's laptop. We are getting ready to go, by the way. Just if you're wondering, they are readying up, so this waffling will stop. I knew there was some esports in the lobby. Yeah, we have some esports. Do they compete against Yarno? Can I just say, this is weird. This is more viewers and like more chatters than we've ever had this season. So maybe it goes to show doing things simple is the right way. That's a bit of a tune, you know. If you're interested in like EDM or something, that's a tune. But let's get back to seriousness then, shall we? It's the British Grand Prix. It's round 10. Remember, if Matteo leaves this round with a 17 or more point advantage, he is your PSF2 World Drivers' Champion. Newt needs to win this race, pretty much. If he needs a podium at least. And he needs a podium and has to hope something goes wrong for Matteo. But we are here just outside the Paddock Club at Silverstone, where 7,800 bottles of champagne are estimated to be drunk in that paddock, or by me after this evening. But this should be a fantastic, fantastic spectacle here at Silverstone. Remember, strategy-wise, soft medium is actually possible around here. You can do a soft medium, you can do a medium soft, so we might see some interesting strategies at play in this evening's race. The fans are ready to go. We hope you're enjoying this in the chat. You shouldn't be, but I hope you're enjoying this in the chat. Remember to check out our title sponsors, GT Omega, and our new sponsor, Sim Racing Centre, the place for all your setups. But let's wait and see what happens in this race. How'd you get better F1 knowledge, says Max Practice. Jarno Opmeyer is not driving this evening. No. Sorry to break that news to you. I can't believe I have to say that, but very sorry to break that news to you. Matteo, who has won multiple times this season, won his home Grand Prix, won in Singapore, and won last time out in Miami. He is looking to take the biggest win of this season and crown himself PSF2 World Champion. As we head to the grid, 3, 4, 5, red lights, and here at Silverstone, we go racing here in Great Britain. It's a jump start from Max van der Geest in the back. A bit of a bad start for him. It's a great start for Matteo, though, as Matteo leads his crowning race, potentially in towards turn number 1. Flopman manages to get back round the outside. There's a yellow flag in the background. That's actually Dirk who's gone off, Matteo's teammate. Matteo tries to slingshot the long way around the outside. He's on the softer compound tyre to Flopman. He's on the medium, Flopman on the hards. They go weaving all the way down to the left-hander at Brooklands, and then in towards the right-hander at Luffield. Ian Van Unen trying to move on down the inside. Optimistic from Van Unen, but he is a very optimistic driver, and we expect nothing less. The other Italian of Daniele is trying to tuck into the slipstream of Matteo. However, it is not able to work side by side, potentially into Cobb's Corner. Matteo is giving it everything in towards Cobb's Corner. Flopman tries to switch back. Didn't work out here, but that was very well executed from Matteo to capitalise on maybe a nervy Flopman in terms of the tyres. It is a horror start for the man fighting Matteo. He's down 7 positions to 19th. That could potentially be championship over for him. Free wide in towards the right-hander at Stowe Corner. Flopman leads again here at the British Grand Prix. Matteo tucked into the slipstream, trying it maybe in towards the Vale chicane. No, I think he knows that he doesn't really need to take too many risks here. Tales is in 4th, followed by Danielle in 5th. Tales almost won this British Grand Prix last season in the wet against his fellow Brazilian Gabriel, who then went to PC. But side by side here up the front, Flopman under pressure from Matteo. Matteo wants to crown this off in the most perfect manner. That'll be a race win. Will Murdoch is once again the dive bomber of the day, as he's looking to make up extra moves here. Didn't have necessarily a great race by his high standards in Miami. Had a good race in Monza, though, and did manage to take a podium, but I believe it was removed as he did punt someone in typical Will Murdoch fashion, but he's ahead of Danielle here. He's on the softest compounded tyre available for these drivers, and that is the soft tyre. Only himself, Tallez and Newt went on it. What a shocker for Newt, starting on the softs to get that launch. He's 3.9 seconds off the pack. No safety car here today, and that is bad news for Newt. Matteo has to lift off in towards Mackett, Beckett and Chapel. Let's ride on board and see. Let's ride on board with Tallez actually and see the run he gets here. Look at this great run from Tallez on the soft tyres. The Brazilian looking for this up the inside. Job done. Good move from Tallez. Was an easy enough one in the end, but well executed nonetheless. And that's what you need to provide. Fede now tucked into the slipstream of Zorzo. Looking to maybe make a move here. Zorzo, of course, won his home Grand Prix as well. We've had 2 home Grand Prix winners here. Will Murdoch would love to make that free as he makes a move on Ian Van Noonan in towards P4. This is this soft tyre paying off again, and Van Noonan knows probably not the smartest idea to go toe-to-toe with Will Murdoch on a quicker tyre. A very a crafty racing driver is Will Murdoch. A brave racing driver, some would say. I'm sure there's a few more words from him from the rest of the pack, but Will Murdoch is looking to improve upon last season in terms of a championship perspective. He finished 14th in the driver's standings, was demoted to a reserve, but you'll have to wait and see. Why is Yarno on the thumbnail? Because I'm streaming from PS, unfortunately. As Diogo Silva problems for the NLR man in the Williams team. He's fallen behind his fellow NLR teammate Newt. That's disappointing, but Tallez now tucked into the slipstream of Flotman, just like Matteo was 1 lap ago. However, the difference here is Tallez is all over the back of that Dark Trace sponsorship, looking to try and make a move. Here comes Tallez, burning a lot of his battery. He wants to lead the early stages of the British Grand Prix, and he will. Lap 3, 4 places made for Tallez. Up to first, likes this circuit. This is the sort of circuit Tallez enjoys, a high-speed sort of quick lap circuit, because he's good at Austria as well. That's the quickest lap on the Formula 1 calendar. I wonder what it would be like at Monaco, but we'll wait and see. Monaco, probably the opposite of a high-speed circuit, but it is a quick lap, so who knows, could be a bit of a mixed bag for Tallez, but I don't think Connor will ever do Monaco again. We'll wait and see. Zorzo maybe a little bit out of line, looking to defend from Fede here. One of many Italians is Fede on the grid. He's got to try attack the Spaniard in towards turn number... what turn is that? It's turn number 6 of Brooklands. Trying the long way around the outside. No good from Fede for now. And he will have to sit behind. Danielle is tucked into the slipstream of Ian Van Noonan. Let's see what he can do down towards the right-hander of Cop's corner. No, it's not going to work out for him there. I thought he might have got a good run. Oh, very wide across the curbs. Maybe a track limits warning. Oh, bit of a snap mid-corner there from Danielle as well. He's under big pressure from Zorzo now. Big pressure from Zorzo. We'll wait and see what he can do. As Fede not able to make inroads. Let's see though, up the front of the grid it is Tallez who still leads it, but Flopman is keeping nip and tuck. Here comes Ian Van Noonan, looking to get the job done on the Ferrari of Will Murdoch, and he has got the job done on Will Murdoch. A great move from Ian Van Noonan. As we await and see what the strategy is going to play out here in this race. Personally, I think soft medium is doable for Tales up the front. It could be a beneficial strategy for him, but we need to wait and see what is happening there. Is Flotman able to make a move on Tales? No, not for now. He will have to sit behind for the time being, as look at this from Matteo. Matteo trying to tread the needle round the outside, heading in towards the Vale chicane. He's got a tuck behind for now, and is not able to work Newt. And that's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have a champion. Matteo is champion here in PSGL F2. Newt has pulled into the pit lane and retired, meaning it is done. No matter what happens in this race, Matteo will be your champion. Newt has given up here, unfortunately. That always seems to happen in F2 around Silverstone. But that is it. We will still give him the full shebang at the end of the race, of course, and crown him the official champion. But that is it for this season. We have a champion here in PSGL F2. But the race still carries on. There's a lot more positions to be decided. It's disappointing to see Newt pull off so early. It really is disappointing to see Newt pull off so early, but he's just not been the same standard as Matteo in the past few races, and that is disappointing for him. Newt did not win a race this season, mind you. Matteo is currently in transit to battle for his 4th win of the season. Monza, Singapore and Miami. For Matteo, he'd love to add Silverstone to that list. Left-hander heading in towards the Vale chicane, as you can already see maybe a bit of tyre degradation for your race leader. We enter lap number 7 of 26, and Tales is out on top here still. Matteo is in 3rd, tucked up behind Flotman. Is he going to go for a big move down the inside? No. The thing for Matteo here is he can now have a bit of fun. There's no pressure no longer on Matteo's shoulders. Obviously he's a racing driver and wants to win, but he's wrapped up the title. He doesn't have to race next week if he doesn't want to. He can just have a bit of fun here, as that is 3 drivers now out of this race. Enzo, Dara Smith and Newt all out of this Grand Prix. It's a double DNF for Alpine, an Alpine team that finished 8th in the constructors standings last season. They had a really poor they had a really poor end to the season last season. They're having a really poor end to the season this season. Look at this, how close this is from Fede and Zorzo down towards the Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel section of corners. Fede tucked up right behind Zorzo. And let's wait and see what happens. I think they can't wait for a safety car, yeah, but I don't think you should give up ever on lap 6 of a race. You're committed to do the race as it is, as Will Murdoch side by side here with Danielle. Danielle looking to keep it maybe on the inside and towards the Vale chicane. Has to back out of that. He just wasn't far enough alongside to warrant racing room from Will Murdoch, and that's now Murdoch up to 5th space on this soft compounded tyre. It seems like he's able to make this soft work a little bit better than Tales potentially, because he is still making moves, whereas Tales now has a bit of a train behind him. Lap 8 out of 26. It's the Brazilian who leads the British Grand Prix with 3 retirements: Enzo, Dara Smith and Newt. Looking a little bit further down the other, all very line astern here. There's no breakage in the DRS until you get to Diogo Silva down in 15th position, and of course those are the guys who were involved in incidents. Matteo to top tier confirmed. Well, if you're the PSF2 champion, you get an automatic space into F1, so yes, Matteo will be heading to the top tier. Can he head some more closer towards the front of this race? Let's wait and see. Flotman, big dive up the inside from the McLaren man, wants to lead on the hard compound tyres. Flotman is into the race lead here at the British Grand Prix. He's making those hard tyres work exceptionally well, using them well in the DRS. And let's wait and see. Matteo, he's just biding his time here. This is the Matteo way. We saw this in Miami when himself and chief engineer Vas Bremer just cooked up a strategy, just waited and bided their time. And Matteo's doing it again. Look how much more battery he has compared to Tales. Not that much more compared to Flotman. As Matteo up the inside. Oh, almost nicking off the left-hand side of his front wing. Yes, I'm George Morgan. As we will wait and see what happens down towards the loop section of... Or no, the arena section of... No, this is the Brooklyn section of circuit. We went through the arena as... Let's wait and see. As Ian Van Unen is just sat behind these guys. Lap 9 of 26. We have a full train from 1st to 14th here in PSGL F2. And the results as it stands could shake up the championship a little bit. Obviously there's more positions than just 1st, but as we know now, 1st is decided. No matter what happens here, due to the DNF of Newt, Matteo will end this evening as world champion. I'd love to hear from him, but unfortunately I don't think we're going to get to do interviews after the race, just due to the situation here in the broadcast booth, but we will wait and see. Tales, he's just struggling with tyre deck. Just that little bit here. If he could get to lap 11, this is doable. Lap 10 or 11, this is definitely doable, but needs to keep those softs alive for a little bit longer, and he can do a soft medium, which I'm presuming is the goal, because I don't really see why you wouldn't try play your cards right and survive a little bit longer at this point than you would going for that hard tyre. But anyways, we'll wait and see. Still a lot of driving to go, not even halfway through this race, mind you. Here he goes, Matteo up the inside in towards the left-hander. Tales still going to try hold it around the outside. Can Matteo, the newly crowned champ, hang it around the outside here? Get the slingshot off the corner. He's got a great exit off the corner, mind you. Much better than the man on the softs. That's a beauty of a move from Matteo. Round the outside, heading through Luffield. Exquisite piece of driving. The Aston Martin's up to second. Now he's got to try hunt down Flotman at the front here. Keep within his DRS. Not let Tales get back past in towards the right-hander of Stowe. And then he will have job partially done. Obviously race not won yet, but Matteo is on his way for maybe another win here, but strategy is going to be crucial because Tales very wide. That's actually because he's a Dutchman up his inside. Ian Van Unen out of nowhere up the inside in towards Stowe corner. Tales was a sitting duck on that lap. These soft tyres are gone, but he only really needs 1 or 2 more laps and then he can come into the pit lane and bring a set of mediums home to the end. But a safety car would be very much beneficial to his strategy in his race here, but we will have to wait and see. The Aston Martin tucked up behind the McLaren, but there is more spaces than first here in this race, and you can see that Fede tucked up right behind Zorzo. Let's have a look and see on board the Alfa Romeo. Not able to make anything work in towards turn number 6. Has to just be patient. Maybe wait for the pit stop window. Undercut can be powerful maybe here. Undercut, overcut, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. We saw the overcut was the powerful strategy in Miami. We saw that worked well for Dirk. Wasn't able to take the win. Matteo did that, of course, and that set him on his way for winning the championship here today. But was still a good race by Dirk. Could have been an Aston Martin 1-2. Matteo's going to go over the race lead here, I should say. Outside through Stowe corner. McLaren defends the inside. Matteo breaks early. It's going to just tuck behind. Try maybe a bit of a switchback manoeuvre. No, not able to work through there. Tales makes it into the pit lane. He's got Will Murdoch right behind him. Both of the soft tyre runners, they get in. They bleed their speed correctly, and no time penalty picked up for speeding in the pit lane. It is a slower pit lane speed here in Silverstone compared to other tracks. I believe Albert Park also is slightly slower. But it's usually a regulated pit lane speed limit, but obviously they're a little bit slower here in Silverstone. Much longer pit lane here in Silverstone than some other circuits. But But we'll wait and see. As Matteo... Oh, this is this tactic we see from Matteo. He just lifts off into the braking zone. It saves a bit of battery. Maybe with some heavier braking. And it also keeps him behind and in the DRS. He's just composed, isn't he? There's no sense of panic. When it comes to... I've lost my train of thought. Ignore that. 1.5 tenths of a second between Matteo and Flotman. Lap 12 at 26 here at the British Grand Prix. Into the slipstream goes the Italian. He's actually pulling out of the slipstream. He does not want to lead this race. He's only here to win. Oh, that's a brilliant statement from the engineer, Bas Bremer. He's only here to win. Who's going to take over the stream when Byron... Have I just been confused for Byron? Okay. Who's going to take over the stream when Byron's doing F1 with James? What has... I'm confused by that, because I try to answer every question in the chat. Byron is doing nothing in terms of this stream. Danielle in the background. You know, Danielle might have a running chance here. If something goes wrong, is the commentator Byron? No, this is Evan. I've been here for 6 seasons. I'm George Morgan, seemingly. Pedal to the metal. No, that 13 and 26. We're almost halfway through this race, and I've just about lost my marbles. But it is a really close one still at the front. This is going to be a last lap shootout, surely, between these guys at the top. Will Murdoch is still right behind Tales. Could cause some problems. Okay, Francie, we get it. Now, what I'm intrigued in is... Sorry, I need to stop reading the chat. What I'm intrigued here is... Yes, no! Oh, thought Matteo was going to be in this lap. Bit of a dummy. I mean, they sold me. Didn't sell Ian Van Noonan, but sold me. And I think Flotman and Zorzo here have both done a fantastic job on these hard tyres. It's very easy to fall down the pack when you're on a harder compound. And they haven't done that. Fastest lap of the race goes to Will Murdoch with a 27.985. That is only 8 tenths of a second slower than the race lap record here at the British Grand Prix. That does belong to Max Verstappen. Will Murdoch and Max Verstappen, both the same thing, pretty much. And it seems like we're going to have pretty much the same thing on this lap compared to the last. But the strategy will kick in here slowly but surely. Surely it's got to be softs for everyone till the end of this race. I can't see why it would be anything other than that. There's Dirk trying to get back into this race. He's not pit yet though, and he has just been overtaken by Will Murdoch, who has pit, so not good for Dirk here. He needs a safety car. But safety cars at Silverstone are not too common. No one coming in just yet. They're all waiting for that soft tyre. No, apologies. We do have someone in. Zorzo is in, undercut, for a set of the medium compound of tyres, I would presume. Jacob Konius, the Australian, also following him in, I should say. The train follows round the loop and onto the Wellington Straight once again. When is there going to be a budge? Because surely once one of these cars decides it's going to start battling, they all will. But Zorzo comes out way, way behind Will Murdoch and Tales, which goes to show how powerful the undercut is here. Tales and Will and Zorzo Could all be in a very good position here, but you'd like to think that the top runners are going to pit this lap for a set of the softs. Whether they'll all come in this lap because they all don't want to pit together, we will have to wait and see. But Flotman down the Wellington Straight still leads from Matteo, the Italian, who is only here to win. He says he wants to win this race and wrap up the championship in star-studded fashion. But we'll wait and see. Are they into the pit lane? No, Van Unen is. Ian is in. So is Danielle. Now, we will wait and see, and we'll get a proper indication of the undercutters. Zane is in as well. Diogo Silva, not one of the undercutters. It was Tales and Will Murdoch and Zorzo. As you can see, Zorzo just latching on to that Skyline train in the background. Skyline also managed to pull off an undercut that went unnoticed by myself. I'm sure it didn't go unnoticed to the stream chat, and I'm sure he's Frederick Erasmusson or something to them, but we'll wait and see. There's confirmation. Softs for Van Unen, softs for Danielle, softs for Johan, softs for Zane. And let's see where they come out. We're looking at Tales. There's Ian Van Unen still in the pit lane. Wow, it's way changed, as there was actually a swap for the lead in that altercation. Matteo now leads the British Grand Prix, as that is Durkoff in the background on 15 lap all mediums. Is that a puncture or is that driver error? I think it's driver error heading in towards Abbey. Disappointing there for Dirk, although it's been a terrible race unfortunately so far. Was that a tactical move from Matteo though? Because he obviously doesn't want to get held up by Flotman. He wants to be the man who makes decisions. Right, here comes Flotman. Flotman wants to be the man to make decisions. Side by side in the Stoke corner. Matteo left with no option. Oh, it's a beauty of a switchback for Matteo, and he's got to drive it into the pit lane. They're both into the pit lane side by side. Who breaks the latest? Oh, Flotman. He's been sold. Matteo has played the game, and he is the winner in the game. Flotman broke way too late because he wanted pit lane advantage. Matteo was calm and collected as ever, and Flotman was the one who collected the punishments. 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's on the soft tyres. That penalty will not serve. But let's take a look. Dirk retires from the session as... Oh no! Safety car! It's come out at the wrong time. Unless your name is Diogo Silva, who carried on. Tales and Will still ahead. Oh no. It's not worked out if your name is Diogo Silva, because he's just been disqualified from the session for ignoring yellow flags. Oh, that's a howler. He's fourth in the standings as well. Was going to maybe get some points over Flotman, who knows. But that is an absolute honker for Diogo Silva. Max van der Geest is going to reap the rewards of carrying on. He will get back into his train. So I just see skates from Owen Moore in the chat. Yeah, that is what Flotman was on. That was a great move. That was a great. If that was planned from Matteo, he held out the ticket for the never won lottery, and Flotman bought it up. Both McLarens, third and fourth, the only two with penalties in this race, and they're both for speeding in the pit lane. Oh no, it's a McLaren disaster class around what's now considered their home Grand Prix. Brucey was a Kiwi, but McLaren, of course, now based in Woking, or Woking, depending how you want to pronounce it. But I'd like to think this battle is still between Matteo and Flotman. Let us know down below who you think this battle is between. Would love to hear your thoughts. Oh, good morning, Mr. Den Blanken. Good morning. It's nice for you to join us. Why did you try to fight that so desperately? I have no idea. A few pitters, actually. Flotman... No, I thought he was in. Oh, the front two are in. Max has got a 5 for Glitch Zane. It's not been good. Avatar making a good point, saying all soft tyres now. We'll see a lot of fighting. I'd like to believe so. As the two engineers are fighting in the stream chat. Bas Bremer, who I presume is on the Matteo car, and Christian Clausen, who I presume is on the Flotman car. Clausen and Green, the Flotman. I'm not going to say what exactly he said, he can read it for himself, but I'm going to say maybe he wasn't the brightest bulb in the Hanukkah tree. No, you're not an engineer. Oh, okay. You're something to do with outplayed racing, I know that much. So technically you are in charge of the Flotman car, because you're his manager. So, you know, argue with me all you want. Lap 18 out of 26 here at the British Grand Prix in Silverstone. Every driver now on the soft tyres. IRT Phil will win. Phil, if you did miss our little podcast in between the restart, because... oh yeah, time, and also if you're still watching, my laptop self-combusted and I'm streaming off PlayStation today. But Phil panicked because he thought his wheel settings all deleted himself. I think they're back. And the fact he's in 6th place, I'd like to think they're back. But we'll wait and see nonetheless. Full train is now here, meaning safety car is in this lap, right on cue. It is Flotman who will lead us away on the safety car restart. He is ahead of Ian Van Unen, who's ahead of Matteo. Fede covers Phil, and it's Danielle, Johan, Thales, Will Murdoch, Zorzo, Jacob Konius, Zane, Max van der Geest, and Skyline. First, 14th and 15th, all the holders of time penalties. As we go racing once again here in Silverstone, Ian Van Unen in second. Does not get the best getaway really, and he's now got to focus and stay within that 1 second gap, because Flotman could get away here. If he breaks the 1 second gap, might be able to keep breaking the gap and pull 5 seconds on Ian Van Unen and or Matteo, but not much movement in the background, all fairly straightforward from the back pack. Jacob Konius right behind Zorzo, maybe gonna look for a move here, and that's sort of the closest two drivers in the bunch, but no, nothing really showing there. Danielle right behind Phil, heading through the left-hander. Can he get the job done? No, can't. Phil gonna defend his teammate here, surely. The two Haas teammates for this evening, and there is no change there. Konius does get past Zorzo. Zorzo now has to keep fighting. Good race so far, this, from Jacob Konius, who of course is 25th in the driver's standings. He's got 2 points here this season. They both came in the second round of the season at Qatar, when everything was looking so much different from a championship perspective. But the real fighting here is going to come lap 23, 24, 25, 26 here, I think. I think it's going to be a little bit just lackadaisical for the time being. Matteo, though, he loves saving his battery. He's not saving it now, because Matteo needs to keep with Van Unen and Flotman, who are gone into the sunset. Ian Van Unen, of course, was the favourite for this champion back in Qatar, the race we are talking about, until about halfway through it, when his wheel disconnected, and Matteo took the win. Flotman, fastest lap of the Grand Prix, has pulled that DRS gap. He is pushing, he's hungry, wants to pull that 5 second gap. Hungarian flag in the background, fittingly. But we will wait and see. The McLaren man, 9/10 of a second ahead of Ian Van Unen, needs to scrape out a 10th here through the loop section, which he has done. There might not be DRS at play here for Ian Van Unen across the activation line. There's no DRS. Flotman has successfully done the impossible and has broken DRS here at the British Grand Prix. Van Unen needs to drive like he's never driven before through these next corners for the sake of pretty much everyone in this race. That 5 seconds, of course, is going to be difficult to pull from Flotman when the gap is as close as this, but anything is possible in Formula 1, and anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. We will wait and see. Matteo does have a lot more ERS than the pair of them. Ian Van Unen, none. Flotman, none. It's taken 2 laps, give or take, to burn 100% battery. Max van der Geest picks up a 3 second time penalty. He's now on 8 seconds worth of time penalties. Well, we will wait and see. Side by side here in the background, actually, this is Skyline up the inside of Max van der Geest. This is for the final position on the rostrum. No, sorry, final points position on the leaderboard, not the rostrum. The rostrum is the podium. DRS is enabled, not for Ian Van Noonen, because he's 1.2 seconds behind. This is now Ian's race to lose, pretty much. He's not been able to keep with your race leader. He now has to try and keep within 5 seconds and keep Matteo behind. Oh yeah, that's the reason he didn't have DRS in the last lap, wasn't it? It's because it wasn't enabled yet. That was a skill issue, unfortunately, but now it's enabled. And flies past Matteo. Sorry, flies past Ian Van Noonen. Matteo flies past Ian Van Noonen. We will wait and see what happens here. Can Matteo catch up to Flotman? It'll be difficult, but if anyone can do it, the champ can. Ian under pressure here from Fede. Burning that much battery might not have been a good idea, because here comes Fede trying to the outside. The Alfa Romeo driver wants to join his fellow Italian, wants to get past his fellow Italian. Almost got round the outside of the pair of them, but Matteo still stays in second. Fede now up to third position. Gap still at the front, still 1.2. And we know Matteo wants to win this race, even if the championship is already his. He wants to win this Grand Prix. Max van der Geest gives up the ghost in the pit lane, and he will join a large list of retirements at this Grand Prix. Gap between Tales and Danielle was quite close for a second. Tales and Will not cutting through the pack as much as I thought, despite having 2 lap fresher soft tyres, but we'll wait and see. 1.1 now the gap between Flotman and Matteo. That's the crucial fight there. Tales says, hold that thought, Senor Dalton, because that is a great move from me. And he is up ahead of Danielle, he says. Will Murdoch looking to join him and get past Johan. 1.06, 1.085, fluctuating between that 1.0 and 1.1 mark between Flotman and Matteo. That is the DRS gap that Matteo wants to catch here if he wants to try and win this British Grand Prix on the circuit. Obviously, he put in the tactical masterstroke to give Flotman that 5-second time penalty. He was going to have to work for it, because here comes Fede to get the job done. He's up and ahead. Phil looking for the move on Covers round the outside. Here comes Phil, tries to hang it. Oh, bit of a nudge from himself and Covers. Thomas Covers gives him the squeeze. Covers, who says he's done no practice for this race because he's sick of his bad luck, gets the job done. He's not doing half bad. Quite a quick racer, isn't he? Is Thomas Covers. 0.8 of a second separates the gap between Flotman and Fede now, meaning Flotman is slowly losing time to those behind. Let's wait and see. Lap 23 of 26. We're coming to a conclusion here at the British Grand Prix. Covers side by side here with Phil. Phil wants to fight this one back, and Phil tried the long way around the outside through Brooklands. He'll have the inside towards Luffield. Phil now having the inside line, just needs to get the better traction on exit, and the Hassman will have pulled off and over. An absolutely beautiful move. Phil, that's a cracker, ahead of Thomas Covers, and he is ahead now into 5th space and into the DRS of Ian Van Noonen, meaning, you know what, Phil might still have a chance in this race. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Covers though is gonna fight back here, well, presumably, and get back past into the right-hander. This is going to be a fairly straightforward one. But look at this, look at Tales. Tales in the pair of them, wants to become the meat in the sandwich, and wants to try sling it around the outside through Stowe. No, won't get it done. Tucks back in the toe. Now going to break for the Vale chicane, and has Phil on his outside once again. It's hard scrapping here. Covers runs a little bit wide. Tales tried the inside in towards Club, but not going to work. Picked up a bit of curb there. Got to be careful doing that, because sometimes your car can hit that curb, spin off, and then you're into the wall just below the podium, and you see what could have been. Here comes Tales, late braking in towards turn number 3. First real braking zone on this Silverstone circuit. Has got the job done. Phil trying it round the outside now. This is for 5th position overall, this battle. No penalties at play here, but they might be beneficiaries of Flotman in front still, because that gap is not really pulling, but that's all going to be calculated come the end of the race by the game. Phil and Cover still side by side in towards the left-hander. Is it going to work now? This is so similar to the move we saw in the last lap. Deja vu for Phil and Covers. Gets the job done. Danielle now right behind, but the only thing here is that move is for a position less, because Tales is up to 5th. Let's have another look up the front though. What's the battery, I should say, like on for these two guys? Flotman is in a very bad position here. He's struggling an awful amount. Covers now tucked into the slipstream. Oh, Phil, once again, 3rd lap running consecutively. Hangs it up the inside, does the Dutchman. Not gonna work. Now is Will Murdoch right behind him. Not really a man you want behind you at the best of times, because he is just such a good overtaker, as we saw. We're coming on to the penultimate lap of the British Grand Prix. There is a lot to be determined. Matteo is playing Matteo games and saving that battery for the last lap shootout, but we will wait and see here at Silverstone. Covers trying it up the inside of Phil once again. This has been a great scrap between the pair. Covers will probably be enjoying this rather clean racing between himself and Phil. Danielle closed off a little bit by Will Murdoch. These two almost still by side. Italian driver versus Italian car. Down towards the left-hander. Here he comes. Danielle is behind. As you can see, Thomas Covers having a go in front. No joy for now, and that is Covers ahead of Phil. Will Murdoch ahead of Danielle. Joho ahead of Jacob Conius. But further up the front, Matteo 0.3 of a second behind Fede. Remember, it's between himself and Fede for the race win here, not necessarily Flotman. Flotman has that 5-second time penalty, which is so unlikely to be removed, especially when Krypton has been doing the majority of the F2 stewarding lately, and he's not a man to remove those kind of penalties. Will Murdoch, has he just got past Phil through Maggots, Beckett and Chapel? That is exceptional. Phil a little bit out of line though. Danielle is right behind. This is some absolutely marvellous battling down the back of the pack, but as we get closer to a conclusion, we're going to have to eventually focus on the battle up the front. Danielle, big lunge on his teammate Phil. The two Hasses are side by side through snow. Now side by side down towards the Vale chicane. Icy, dicey from the American outfit. Phil has got the job done, or stays in front, I should say, as we are on the final lap of the British Grand Prix. What's happened to Fede? Oh no! Oh, that is awful luck from Fede. His car has just stopped in a straight line. I don't believe it. I really don't believe it for the Italian. What could have been a race win, what could have been a marvellous result, is now next to nothing. Johan picks up a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. That is freakish. Cody's have struck again, well and truly. Matteo is now 0.6 behind the man with the penalty. Is he even going to bother burning his battery? Probably yes, because he probably wants to win it on circuit. Covers side by side with Phil still here in the background. Will Murdoch has now got that place. 0.5 of a second, the gap of the front. Now 0.4 of a second. Matteo running it right to the track limit, taking all the risks here for what might be another win in a star-studded season. 0.3 of a second separate the pair. They fought all race long. There's no battery available for Flotman. Matteo tucks into the slipstream. It's his crown jewel race, and he's going to win it in towards Stowe Corner. The Italian completes the ultimate F2 season. It's impeccable all season long. His composure's been immaculate, and he shows it once again. Champion of the world is the Italian of Matteo across the line. He seals it in glorifying fashion at the British Grand Prix. The crown is on the Aston Martin in the country of royalty. What a win for Matteo, and he took it right on the end. Controversy maybe with what happened to Fede, and awful luck for him. But dare I say, Matteo might have had it anyways. It is a deserved champion. He struts out onto the podium. Okay, that's weird as hell. What? Did he just float? Okay. that's thrown me a little bit. But marvellous job. Marvellous job by Matteo. Marvellous job. But my God, was that Fede moment peculiar? Well, ladies and gentlemen, here is your full race results in Silverstone. It is Matteo on top from second on the grid. Ian Van Unen in second, ahead of Tales in third. It's a second consecutive British Grand Prix podium for Tales, so that's something to note. Flotman in fourth, followed by Will Murdoch in fifth on home. Is he the top British driver? No, I don't think Flotman is actually Welsh, is he? No, I don't think he's actually Welsh. Covers is in sixth, ahead of Danielle in seventh, Phil eighth, and Fede ninth, and Zane in 10th. At least Fede got something for his efforts, but that is honestly the worst glitch I've ever seen. Jacob Konius in 11th, followed by Johan Skyline Zorzo. Your non-finishers were Max van der Gies, Dirk, Enzo, Dara Smith, Newt, and Diogo Silva. But what a season. We still got one more race next week in Bahrain. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all we do have time for. Really sorry that we can't hear for your champion. That's completely my fault. So yeah, I can only apologise for that. I can only apologise for the issues we had in qualifying and the fact we're on a different stream than usual this evening. Yeah, that's my fault entirely, and I can only apologise. But we had a good race in the end. It was a great win for Matteo. He is your PSF2 champion and will race with the big boys next season in PSGL F1, which you can tune into now, with James Head and Byron Hale. From myself, Evan Dalton, thank you very much for joining me. Make sure to check out our title sponsors, GT and Mega, and our new sponsor, Sim Racing Centre. We'll have the ad and stuff playing next week. Again, I can only apologise. But stay safe, stay well, and I shall see you next time. Bye-bye.